All right, guys. So this is the next one that you guys are going to be doing. This is another walkthrough challenge. Okay, so this one we are playing around with having variables that are going to dynamically change using increment and decrement. So if we're looking at it, we're also changing the scale of some of the shapes, so they are changing sizes. And if you look, the green is rotating at a faster rate than the other ones, and it's symmetrical. That's the big thing, is that we have it symmetrical. It's like they're mirroring each other. Gives it kind of a cool effect. Okay, so this isn't too difficult. This is kind of like doing the changing mandala, but we are going to end up having to set some things up. So if I'm looking at a new project, and I want you to call this Symmetrical Warping is the name of the project. Okay, now for this, we are going to be using a lot of push and pop. We're going to be using rotate. We have to have a couple sets of variables. Okay, so I'm going to do this in 2 squares, but you guys will be repeating this on all 4 corners. Okay, so the first thing we are going to have, we are going to use the push, pop, and translate for each corner to position those shapes there easier. So we have to have the X and the Y for each corner that we want. So I'm going to write a variable. I'm going to call it LT for, let's do left top corner, okay, X, and so that's going to be, so I got left top corner X, left top corner Y, and then I'll do the top right one. Right top corner X, right top corner Y. Big thing on this is making sure that your variables are descriptive. I would need to have it for have these variables for other corners. Okay. We're also going to want to have an angle for the left for each corner. So left top angle, and then let's do another one for here. Right top angle. Okay. Now in our setup, we want to pick our values. Okay, and these are going to kind of mirror each other. I'm going to set both of these equal to 0. So let's start with the angles. Angles need to start at 0 because they're going to grow. Okay, so left top angle equals 0. Right top angle equals 0. Which means since we're going to be playing with angles, I need to change the angle mode to degrees. Unless you want to deal with pi and partial of pi. Okay, so that should get me there. I also think I'm just going to make it easier for positioning the rectangles on any of the sides of the screen to put the rect mode for rectangles to center. That will make things easier. And then for here, we got to start positioning. So if I am doing my left top corner, let's do left top corner X. Let's give that a value. Let's say that I'm going to move them in, let's say 50 from the end. Left top corner Y. I'm going to do that the same thing. Okay. So I'm going to kind of jump down so you guys can see how I'm picking those values. But we are going to want to use several push and pops. Okay. So pop. I'm going to end up having to have a total of 4 of them, 4 sets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. To position for each corner. Okay. Now for one of them, let's just start with translate, and I'm going to translate to the left top corner X, and the left top corner Y. Okay, and then I can position my shape. So I want to have my shapes positioned so that they're the same, they mirror each other, just like in the example. So I'm going to start with rectangle right in the center of that point so I can see it. Okay, so there's one. I want to have another one that's going to look the same thing over here. Okay, so I can't just do 50-50 for the top right. Top right corner. I'm going to have to kind of position. So right top corner X. If this is 50 from 0, okay, then I need 50 from the width. Okay, now if I manually do that and say 400 minus 50, that's 350. Yes, that will work, but then if I ever change my canvas size, it won't work anymore. So let's just get used to doing that. If you are ultimately here, you're adding 50 from 0. We're doing the same thing, so we're moving from the left in 50. We need to move from the right in 50, which means I'm subtracting. So I'm going to go width minus 50. Okay. I need to do the same thing. Right top corner Y. Okay. And then this one is coming from the height. Excuse me. Because we're at the top is 0 for the height, so that's not going to change. The bottom, it will. So the top, though, I'm still at 0, and I'm still adding 50 to it. Okay, now here, with our next set of push-pop, I can basically copy this, paste it in there. This is my right top corner. Okay, now I need to make sure that I'm changing these variables, and that's why I had them all named kind of the same, because it makes things easier. All right, so if I'm looking, I'm the same distance away here as I am here, same distance away here as I am here. That is just one shape. I need to have at least 3 such shapes for each corner. So here's one rectangle. Let's go ahead and put another rectangle, but we want to move it. Maybe we want to move it 50 in and 50 down. That looks kind of cool. Okay, so if I want to repeat that again on here, if I just copied and paste, it's not going to do exactly what I want because it's mirroring this way. But I need it to actually move in, and I'm measuring all from the this corner, not from this corner. So that means I do want it to be size 50, but I'm not going 50 more to the right. I actually want to go 50 to the left. So I'm going to reverse that. Okay. The other corners are going to be different. This corner is going to be exactly opposite of this. So if these are both positive numbers to move it in, then they need to be both negative here. So just pay attention. You're going to end up having to switch some of them to make it so that they're flipping the way that they need. So see how this corner, that would be both negative, but I might end up having one where I needed one of them negative so that they're facing and they're mirroring each other. Okay. All right. So now that you have that, okay, we have this that is moving. So if I come up to the very top of my draw, there's a couple things that we can do. So if I do left top corner X and I increase it, what's happening? It moves it over to the right. If I do the right top corner X and I added that, incremented it up, that's also moving to the right. That's not what we want. We actually want it to go down, to decrease. So then they cross each other. Okay, that's just for the X's. Now if I did Y's also, then I can have it move down. So left top corner Y, let's increase. Now it's going diagonal. Let's do that for the right. Right top corner Y. For that to go down, I have to increase the value of Y. Okay, so now they are moving. They meet in the middle. That looks pretty cool. If I had 4 of them doing that, that's going to be pretty sweet. So I'm going to ultimately have to add colors to all of these. I need to start actually putting rotating in there too. So let's say that we want to rotate just this one. Remember, we can use push and pop. Okay, and then I can rotate this. Now, if I rotate without translating at this point, it's not going to rotate the center of the shape. But I could rotate, say, this left top angle. That's what I want to rotate by. Okay, now I don't see anything happening yet because I need to have that actually increase. So left top angle, let's just have that increment up, and now that's rotating. Okay, and it's actually rotating around a fixed point that's not on the shape, which is okay. I can have it actually rotate, so I could have the whole set of rectangles all rotate, and then have one rotate faster. So it looks pretty sweet. Okay, now if I'm trying to reverse that, so let's do the right top angle, because we want them all to meet in the middle. Let's see what's happening. Okay, so let's come here. We want this one to rotate, and we do right top angle. That's rotating the same way. So we actually want the opposite. We don't want that to increase. We want it to decrease so that it's meeting in the middle. Okay. Now, this one we had a push and pop inside with the angle it used again. So let's do that. Push, rotate, right angle. All that's doing is that the speed that this is rotating, it's doing that plus what the speed of this is rotating. Okay, so now we're actually seeing it's mirroring each other. That looks pretty sweet. We got to have some more shapes on there, but this is basically how you do symmetrical. I would create 3 variables for your colors. Need 3 variables for colors. Okay, which would be the same thing as, let's say let color 1. And then in our setup, we would want to do maybe something like color 1 equals color, and then pick this from the color picker. Okay, all right. Good luck. Have fun.